Hello there. My name is Cliff Ayozie, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to my stewardship on NBC USA television. Today, we have a very special personality, a person you would like to meet. But before then, I have a colleague with whom we shall be interacting with this special lady that is our special guest today. I'm talking of no other person other than Dr. Namso Norma Opara. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Namso.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is all mine.
Okay, our special guest today, if you like to guess, I don't know if you just guess at the right person. She holds a doctorate in nursing practice. She has a master's in nursing, has a BSN, and a registered nurse, and of course, with specialization in psychiatry. She has helped a whole lot of people that are downtrodden, that have health challenges to come up the stream. But for this very interview today, we're looking at her from the perspective of the Director of Women Affairs, NBC USA, Dr. Alice Ukaegbu. It's my pleasure to welcome you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you to both of you.
Welcome, Doc. It's a pleasure having you here.
Now, let's start from a soft end. You're a woman, and sometimes, we try to define these things and try to find your own perspective, what your feeling is when it comes to looking at the place of women in an organization like NBC USA and the larger society. How would you, what kind of picture would you want to paint?
Well, thanks for the question. I am a woman, and women in the place of be it cultural politics or politics in general play a big role. We help to soften the tone when it becomes really, really high. We have different perspectives sometimes, and I agree in perspective towards, when it comes to the leadership role. And we are usually very, very resilient in, what we do. We are persistent but we do it in a softer way so that it will not offend anyone. But we are very strong minded when we're doing our thing. But we don't show it. And we tend to encourage or direct our brothers, sisters, husband at the back end so that we don't look so harsh. But we have strong leadership, experiences that we tend to display when it comes to leadership.
Okay, I know that you could talk the whole day talking about the nice things about women, of which I'm very proud of a woman, because in any family where you don't have a woman, there is a challenge. And in any corporate organization, you don't have a woman, there is usually a drawback on the extent they could achieve things. Now, let's go to the main issue, which is your position as the Director of Women Affairs of NBC USA. And looking at the constitutional provisions in terms of the welfare of women, in terms of initiating things of interest or representing their position at the national executive, extending to the board of delegates, and in fact, in any fora. To what extent do you think you've been able to acquaint yourself?
Well, I would say that I have nicely acquainted myself with both the board of delegates, the chair, and in the executive position area where I am. I work well with them. Now, in terms of national women affairs duties or projects, it is a very big one, but it's not in isolation. That is a position where all the women in USA and those at home are collaborating towards, especially those that are here because we have a lot of upper hand. So we have a project whereby the women in USA have gathered to give their stipend or token, and with the encouragement of the men, and in most chapters, about 14 chapters have contributed to try to help those that are less privileged at home. Now, we are not only dealing with people that are at home, we also have plans for the women that are here in the US. When we have our meeting, we had, several meetings, and we had plans for us to tackle the issues that women are having here in USA, be it the people that are just coming, trying to, help encourage them to bring them up, be it the struggles that we go through that creates some stress in the family and strains, those with that experience. That's what we're trying to do. And our plan is to do that twice a year. In terms of the people that are home that are less privileged, we have managed to do some microfinance through the program, starting from 2018, when we started giving them about 100,000 naira for each from one local government, a total of 24. And in 2021, we did 150,000 naira for 30 women, 10 from each local government. And this past December, when I went home, we were able to do 60 women for a total of 60. I mean 2020 in each local government for a total of 60. Now, these women, we do reevaluate them through the guarantors
So
as
how
well.
much did they get this time?
They got 20, it's 20 people for 200,000 naira each. So the women are being evaluated to see if this works for them. They are very happy. And through the process of either through video or through the questionnaires that are given to them, or even evaluating them personally, because each and every one of us must have one way or the other done, something for the less privileged back home. They are very grateful that we're doing this. And the women here that have volunteered to contribute $10 each woman for every year, we will continue to do that, and we will encourage to do that. And we will also continue to encourage our men to contribute the way they are contributing, or even more than they are doing now. So we're still pleading and begging, because we are always, the women at home they are always in need. And if we can expand it, as we are going, as you can go, we go from 24 to 30 and then to 20. And the goal for the next time will be probably, who knows? It could be 50, it could be 30, so we never know. But the goal is for us to continue to expand
No, so I know you like to come in
first,
here.
and in the amount, both in the numbers and in the amount that we are giving them.
Okay, then. Doctor, it's a pleasure to have you here, as I said earlier. The father, the guy who is considered the father of microfinance back is Dr. Mohammed Yunus. And I remember there was an interview he had when he was asked why and how he started microfinancing bank, or he was asked why he decided to empower women, the history, instead of men. And he said he did it because when men are empowered, when women are empowered, the children are trained well, and the children get the opportunity to be successful in life. So my question is there any tracking measures or tracking tools that you have in place to see the effects, the positive effects of the microfinance empowerment that you guys are doing for women in Mbise? That's one. Secondly, what kind of sustainability plan do you have in place to make sure that these women will continue to be successful? Is there any tools that we have in place to track those things?
Thanks for your questions. I think I have already started alluding to some of the questions that you asked. I had said that we have some tools in place in form of videos, in form of questionnaires that are asked from time to time by the guarantors,
Okay.
to evaluate what is going on, how they are doing with what they are given, if they need any help. Because we have a different process whereby the guarantors are the ones that know these people more than we do. So we go through them.
Okay.
That, for everything we do, we have to also put some areas of improvement in place. So as time goes on, we plan to expand this, whereby we will collaborate with the people that are writing grants and research.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the grant writers are going to collaborate with us so that the money that we get will be substantial one, and it will be, something that flows and that will help in sustaining it. In addition to that, the women, like I stated earlier, have already volunteered to participate by their little token every year. So when 24 chapters with lots of women, you know how we are, if
Mm-hmm.
we're able to get that $10 that we think that is nothing, it will
Mm-hmm.
be able to also augment what we're doing.
Okay.
Oh well, you've spoken well actually on the sustainability plan and how you intend to ensure that this continues to thrive to the benefit of women. Uh, this supposed to be a revolving fund, or is just a giveaway to the women? And how do you do your recovery? And how do they respond to that in terms of making having an overhead, with the loan or the grant they were given?
So, as you know, we have a process which has worked for us and will continue to work for us. But that does not mean that if we see anything that is better than that we're not willing to change. So what happened is a 2-year, um, you know, uh, loan that is given to these women without interest and creation of assets, because it's so hard. Some people don't even know where the bank is or somebody to give them the money. So what we do is we go through the guarantors that are here in US that will volunteer people that they feel are really less privileged and in need because they have petty business they are doing, but there is no fund to do it. So they will submit their names and we will go through the names, and then depending on how much fund we have, we will determine the number of people that we are going to have. The application comes up and is given to the presidents or chairs of each chapter. And from there, they disseminate it to all the chapters, those guarantors that are willing to be guarantors, because it's kind of a responsibility. So when they volunteer, then we will notify them that their candidates were selected, and once they are selected, they will give us more information about them because they will be the one to apply on all those things, I mean the candidates. And based on that, then when the time comes, which is usually in December during Ezurezu time, that's when we tell them that, hey, you are an awardee, and then we'll give it to them in a subtle way. And they're usually happy.
Well, in terms of selection of the people that qualify, is it only the prerogative of the Director of Women Affairs, or is a process in place where you'll be able to look at the options available to you with a view to ensuring that you approve such grants to people that need it?
Yes. So I'm not the only one. Um, we do have the board chair, um, the secretary, which is a man, Joko, and myself. And then we'll go through it. What we try to do is to look at those who have not, provided any candidates. First of all, we make sure that all the chapters participate, and also we will look at the funds and how many people we're going to take per local government area. So that, and then we inform the guarantors. And luckily, for the last one we did, almost everybody that applied did get it because I had more fund, than the other ones. But for the one in 2021, also we had some people, but like I said, we paid attention and we gave prerogative to those who have not applied before, so that we make sure that everybody that really wants it gets it. Now, in terms of knowing who to give it, that becomes the responsibility of the guarantors, because of how this place is, we are not able to go to the villages to find out who needs it and who does not need it. So the guarantors become our eye. So they will make that determination, and we will trust their determination, and then we'll take it from there.
Do you sometimes, fall short of the number of people you need? Like you talk about 60 cutting across three local government areas of Ahiazo, Abo, and Ezenitembise. And if you do, how do you make it up?
Come again with your question. I didn't get the first part.
When you advertise for placement or
Candidates.
applications, some
Right.
people apply,
Okay.
or you have guarantors in identifying with the project.
Right.
Are there sometimes you don't make up the numbers of, say, 60 that you had the last time?
Mhm. Well, I have never had an opportunity not to make it. But what happens if that case, let's say Ahazu doesn't have enough number and Abombise has more, we will take the people from Abombise to make up the people. Let's say the Abombise had like uh, 40 and Ahazu have like 20. I will not let the money go. I will make sure that somebody gets it. But the thing is, I keep telling the people from that area, because I remember one day I said, "Oh, I think Abombise only had 16. Everybody was running. Oh no, we can't do this, So I'll usually tell them, the people that are lagging. Well, you don't have enough people. They're like, a lot of people need it. So they try to make sure that they give me some people. If not, I will make it up. I'll make sure that people take that money.
Thompson?
Yes, sir. Excellent answer so far, ma'am. So, with every program, as we know, there's always rooms for gap analysis, and that's when you identify some of the possible issues. So, with this program, I'm sure, knowing you, you must have done some gap analysis, and I'm sure you must have identified some gaps in the process. Um, Considering that your term will be ending soon, do you have um, do you have a process in place to fill those gaps that you must have identified, and have to a process of handing those identified gaps to the incoming women affairs director? And
Sure.
is that something that you're still going to do? And do you mind sharing a few of those gaps that you identified, or what we can call some barriers to
Yeah.
doing the things that you want to do?
Well, one of the big barriers is fund. I would like to have more fund, and it's a shame that some of the chapters. I only have 14 chapters that have contributed the money, and none have contributed this year. So if all the chapters will take it, diligently pay the $10 that we can give away with our left hand to someone every year, that's one. The other one is I have already started the collaboration with the research and grants. We need more fund and we need to expand. I know we are generous in terms of trying to contribute and give up and do things like that. But I think if we are able to put our process in place and then include it in the grant to see how we can get more money that we can use and develop some more programs for women that are here.
Okay.
Because if you are writing a grant, you have to show that you're doing something for the people not only in Nigeria but also here. So some programs like we had alluded to, like trying to talk to the women, do a program where all the women will come together, we'll get some areas of specializations and try to talk it out and see some areas that the women are lagging or what they want to discuss, and we do that and put it in the grant writing and stuff like that.
Yes, ma'am.
That will help us to improve. Another area that I have identified is to aggressively follow, the feedbacks, right? We need to have a process, a steady process that flows that we can follow to make sure. Now, the the barrier there is we don't know these people, so a committee that will constitute of the guarantors and how they can be able to, and their willingness to help us to make that process go smoothly. And like I said, whoever comes to take this position, I am available because I have laid the foundation, and I'll be available to help whoever it is if they feel free, to call me and not be threatened. We're women, and sometimes things happen.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I think a whole lot to talk about that. Let's just go away from the microfinance. Now, we have an issue on hand. A woman who is, I would say, less endowed, is blessed with a conjoined twins.
Right.
And of course, this came to the attention of MBC USA, and everything revolves around you as the director of Women Affairs. What is the assessment of the situation, and how the MBC are responding to this special call, let's save the twins' life?
Wow. You know, that is that character that we have. An NBC man or a woman is family oriented. And like I listed before, we are family oriented. We love education. We love to take care of our family, and we are very hospitable. So when this issue came up, as soon as it was mentioned, my goodness, the NBC people started pouring out. About over 100, about 120 people have already contributed towards this cause. And not only are they contributing, some people are visiting the lady, making it visible that, this is our own and we are going to take care of her. So that's what we do. When one is in trouble, no matter how we bicker and fight, when one is in trouble, we run, we make sure that we do it. And I think Mbise people have really answered to this call. This woman must be very lucky and, to come from Mbise and what we are doing. Our president, sometimes in life, it trickles down. When you have a good leadership who's able to initiate and who is able to coordinate, who is able to just go and do what needs to be done, then the others follow. Because as soon as this happened, he wanted to make sure that this gets, you know, um, effectively, uh, or how would I say, to make sure that this is true. And then um, Dr. Mbocha went and confirmed it and said this is true. As soon as that was done, the president followed up, not only calling the doctors from MBC that are in Abuja, making sure that people that are here that went home go there to confirm and do other things. I am so proud of MBC people. That's why we do what we do. We fight sometimes, but we do things when it comes to it. And it comes from leadership. That is the key. Because if you don't have a leadership that can, address issues as they come, the people under that will not do that. So I really appreciate the leadership of Ochiaga as well as Alozie, the way they are. And then the delegate people, Dr. Wejo, of course, working together makes it possible to
I'm
happen.
sorry, no, so would like to come in here because time is running out on us.
Okay.
No,
So
sir. My question was, um, considering the role that you just assumed and how you perfected how you perfected in this role, um, what would you say about women, incorporating women in not only say USA as a corporate entity, but in corporate and social aspect of, in the corporate world and in the social aspect of say USA? What do you think? Or how, first of all, how do you see the role of women right now in NBC USA, and what would you give as an advice on
Okay.
how to incorporate more women into executive roles as well
Exactly.
as
How I see it is we need more women in NBC USA leadership. One. And I think we need more women because the women are always the head that stirs things. to go right or to go left. And we don't do it making noise. We do it in a subtle way. So I would advise, the incoming executive to include lots and lots of women in their executive position, to advise them and to tone things down when it starts getting rowdy. So we have a big role to play. Not only are we intelligent and educated, we also have a subtle way of caring, not for only our children, but calming our men down when they become rowdy, and also telling them the way to go in a subtle way so that they don't get offended. Mbise men, they have to be Mbise men.
That's why we love them. Yes, our men.
That's an innuendo. You know that? Well,
That's why we love them. We love them that way.
Love them. Hey.
yeah. No, so you can talk more about that. I like that aspect. Okay. Now on a parting note, we have a lot on the plate, but time is not our friend. We have projects to improve MBC, to move MBC from being, you know, yeah, an undeveloped place for years, running years and years. And we have a project on hand that we call the Medview Medical City. How do you see that project and yeah, perspective? Where you see MBC in 5, 10 years time?
Oh my goodness. That's leadership for you. So the leadership of SOS and Aloze has taken MBC to a different height. This height we're going, we cannot come down but continue to go up. So this idea of, acquiring 100 acres of land, having the plan that was shown to us the other day, I was so excited because the things that are going to be there, a lot of people are going to be jealous. Now, we're talking about employment, we're talking about, it is going to be out of this world. A lot of people from all corners of Nigeria will be coming to go to school there. They will be coming to live there. They will be coming to, do farms there, market there. I know this is going to be a reality. I don't know how many years it's going to take, but once we start, I know how our thing starts. We start so slow, but once you say go, collaboration will come from right and left and wherever it comes from. And we are going to do this because I know once we plan something, we are going to do it. And this is a reality. I don't know about other people who are putting some doubts in it. And like we all stated, we will start with the hospital and the other things will follow. But if we're able to get collaborators that are willing to do it concurrently, they can do that too. But I know we're going higher and higher.
I think I will take that as the parting word on this very conversation on my stewardship on NBC USA Television. And I'd like to say special thanks to my colleague, Nonso Opara, and of course, our special guest today, Dr. Alice Ukaegbu, the outgoing Director of Women Affairs, who has continued to make impact, tell the women that, look, there is hope for tomorrow. So just being the beginning, and she has canvassed on the need for women to identify with corporate organizations, seek leadership positions, and make their impact. On that note, we'd like to say a special thank you to Dr. Alice Ukaegbu for being our guest.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Nanso. Thank you, Cliff. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, Doc,
And
for
also,
honoring our invitation. It is a pleasure to have you again.
Okay, you too. Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
all right, we move on. The next time on NBC USA Television, we'll bring you another very special personality. I don't know, my stewardship or NBC USA Decides. Stay with us.
Thank you.